Tonight on the live stream of consciousness, I am talking to the host of the Grace Grella show. Yes, Grace Grella herself. Hello. Yes, you've made it. I am smiling and I am giggly because I am super happy and excited about tonight's guest, which I'll tell you about in just a minute. But welcome to the live stream of consciousness. It's Thursday. You are in my happy place. You know you're welcome here. I'm happy because you're here. I'm happy because I'm here. The intention of the live stream of consciousness is what brought it to life, what keeps it living. And what keeps me here every Thursday, feeling happy about being able to do this and meet and talk to all sorts of different cool people. Tonight's guest I'm excited about because I met tonight's guest through actually appearing on her show. She has a show. She is a well-known psychic medium whose show really reminded me of growing up, the old public access shows and television, Channel 9, late at night. People who had their own shows. They had a little studio and they did their thing, and it was so much fun. And she's a psychic medium and just a almost like, I don't want to say a stand-up comedian, but she's got this vibe that's just like so friendly and cheerful, that I think you're going to love her. So I'm going to welcome her to the show. I see Tim is out there. What's up, Tim? I see Ninja Kitty. Welcome, folks, and welcome to the show, Grace Grella. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. I'm doing great because I'm in the happy place with you. This is
Yes,
a happy
awesome.
place for me as well.
I'm so glad that you are here. It was so awesome meeting you on your show, and seeing your awesome vibe and what you do. This show is all about energy and energy exchange, and psychic mediums are totally welcome here. So we're very excited to talk to you. I mentioned that there was a couple things we had to talk about first, before we got into everything. And Tim is saying "Hola, Grace." Tim is in Brazil. I always like talking about that
Hola,
because
Tim.
that makes my show international when Tim is here. It's awesome. And Ninja Kitty is saying, welcome, Grace, as well. And the Quiet Healer is here as well. Janice is here and she says, hello, Grace.
She's my favorite lovable Leo.
She's awesome. I love her too. So the business that we have to take care of it's a simple question that I ask all my guests because the answers are also varied but also connected. And that is, what is consciousness? What the heck is the live stream of consciousness? What is consciousness?
Well, there are many levels of consciousness,
Mhm.
but if you want to, the verbiage sometimes gets people bewildered. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered like me. There we go. Bada boom. And you're right. I can do stand up sitting down. Thank you very much. Okay, so but laughter and love are the two greatest healing energies, vibes, frequencies.
For sure.
Consciousness to me is just the collective consciousness, something that we're, as I said to you earlier, we're all a piece of the puzzle, and if you put
Mhm.
us all together, it's the big picture.
Mhm.
So consciousness is awareness to me,
Mhm.
that energy of, it's palpable, it's living, it can never be destroyed,
Mhm.
it's forever, it's infinity.
Mhm, mhm.
and, we're a part of that. How
Yeah.
exciting is that?
It's amazing, and that is, again, a perfect answer. I love it. Um, I think that's it, we're all a piece of the puzzle of consciousness. I think it's awareness that we are that piece of the puzzle and awareness that there even is the puzzle, right? It's like,
Exactly.
that's amazing. Um
Get the picture? What picture? Yeah, exactly.
so that's awesome. There's a second piece of business. I just want to cheers to Janice because she bought me some ginger and I started just cutting pieces of it and putting it in my water and I love it. It's so refreshing.
Nothing says loving like, making sure your honey is, happy, healthy, and loved. She's
Yeah,
doing that
yeah,
for you.
it's awesome. I'm loving it. So the question is, and I know, I don't have to kind of figure out if you're even on this page or if you have these beliefs because of what you do. And the beliefs that I'm talking about are, understanding that, there's another side, there's another dimension, there's a place where, past ones still exist, right?
Well, I've been there, done that 3 times. So I had 3 near-death experiences,
Okay.
and, at the age of 7.
Okay.
So, not once, not twice, but 3 times God said, "Not time to say goodnight, Gracie,"
Mhm,
and that's why I'm still here.
mhm.
So, I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt and the bumper sticker. It's so awesome because it is, wow, some of it is indescribable, there just are no words, you have to experience it because
Mm,
so fabulous. It's, love.
mhm,
Everything on the other side is love, right?
mhm,
That's the vibe, that's the frequency. The colors on the other side are woo! It's like if I can imagine, I've never done it, but they say if you go on, mushroom trips or this,
mhm,
that,
mhm,
the other
mhm,
hallucinative, assistance drugs, you see this kaleidoscope of colors,
mhm,
and they're
mhm,
very
mhm,
vivid.
mhm, mhm,
Everything on the other side, like, the flowers, the rainbow, it's just so crisp, so clear,
mhm,
so you're a part of it all. I can say that. You don't feel separate when you're up there.
mhm, mhm,
Everything is one.
mhm, mhm.
It's awesome. At least that's what I experienced,
I
and
love those descriptions are great. I love hearing all of those. You hear that often from, not only near death experiences, but just talking about what is consciousness, right? Love, the ultimate, right, energy of love. Some people
well,
define that as
source is
conscious,
love. Source
right?
that's
Right.
source is love. Love is, the Beatles said it, "All you need is love."
I love hearing that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love hearing that. That's awesome. So the question was really, you have answered it, but I guess really, if you want to elaborate on the question, is really like, when did you first realize that there was more to life than what
Oh,
we've been
okay.
taught, right?
Yeah, so when I was 7 and, I was, I woke up from my first operation in the hospital, and
Mhm,
my, um, Irish grandmother, my mother's mother,
mhm,
was, she had passed, so she was no longer physically on the planet,
mhm.
but she was physically there at my bedside,
Wow.
and I could see her as I can see you.
Mhm, mhm,
And I could hear her, but it was more of a like a telepathic kind of a thing.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
And she told me, you know, a little bit of a brogue, "Wake up, child, wake up. It's not your time," like
Right,
that
right.
kind of thing.
Wow.
So, and ever since she's been with me, I've been able to perceive her. And then it just started snowballing and started evolving, not just family relatives that had passed over, but
Mhm,
also angels
mhm.
and a spirit. And it just, once you tune in, you can fine
Right,
tune it and
right.
really just have a party line. Remember with
Right,
all
right.
things that
So
be a party line? Yeah.
I'm imagining as you're saying that too, and it's interesting because in the past few guests, as they're talking, I'm totally feeling certain things. And as you were saying that, and imagining that, if you're hearing a voice of an angel or somebody that's not familiar to you, not a family member, you still have that familiar feeling. You're still very comfortable with that voice and that energy saying, this is somebody who loves me and who I love. And,
Right.
is yeah,
Well,
that's all.
everybody that's the lovely part for me, at least, is everybody that comes to communicate with, either, someone, a client or someone I'm speaking with or somebody who wants to connect with somebody on the other side,
Mhm.
they've all been very loving,
Mhm.
it's not, they're coming to, um,
Get
give you a
revenge.
hard time or,
Right.
yell
Yeah.
at you for not, doing your homework or
Oh my
something
god,
along
imagine,
those
I
lines.
just thought of you just made me think of a whole skit of the psychic medium who brings back spirits to get revenge. Like, just as a joke. I know it's not the
Yeah,
truth,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
that was kinda funny.
That
Um,
is kinda it's like an SNL skit, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But, so from my personal experience, that's all I can speak from, it's always been, loving, it's
Mhm,
always been, uh let me give them hope. Let them know that I'm still with them, even though they can't see me,
mhm,
even though I'm physically not there. Energetically, I am there, and
mhm,
they'll give me information like what they had for breakfast. I mean,
mhm.
like details, and
Right,
the
right,
person will
right.
say, "Yeah, that's exactly what I had for breakfast, or what I was wearing, or this
Love
and that."
that, yeah.
And I'll say, "Okay, so they're letting you know they see
There
you
you go.
and what's going on, and you're not alone."
There
You
you
know?
go. Well, we have our first contestant, Anne Fabella is out there, and she's saying, "I so want to know, wow, thank you." Or maybe she figured something out from what you said. If she's saying thank you, maybe something you said
Hey,
clicked
Ann,
with her.
when I work, I just need people's birthdays, their month and their day. So if you could just let me know and write in on the comments when your birthday is, month and day for me.
Yeah, yeah. I also would love to, if anyone out there watching, she said
Ah,
January 25th.
Aquarian. Oh, you're brilliant. Okay. All right. So, and you're on the frequency. All Aquarians are. All Aquarians feel that nobody gets them. It's like God dropped them from another dimension and no one's speaking your language. But I get you and I can hear what's going on, especially for you. You're very clairvoyant, and with your dreams, especially like you'll dream something and then 3 days later, boom, you're in the middle of it going deja vu. This was my dream. So you're very gifted yourself. And I also want to say, who is Debbie or Deborah to you? I keep hearing this name connected to you, and this person is on the other side. So this is somebody who passed, I want to say, within the last 5 years, and uh, almost like a not a relative, either somebody like a friend or a coworker, kind of an energy. Do you know anybody that passed in the last 5 years? But with the name Deborah, Debbie?
All right. So there's like a 45-second delay before it goes out on YouTube. But
Oh, okay.
so you gotta look at it, used to that a little. But that's what I was gonna say. I was going to put out the invitation that if anybody feels comfortable enough and that they want to come online, I'll put the link out in the chat. She said I can't think of a Deb or Debbie,
Okay.
but I know what it's like to be under the gun when a psychic is talking to you and reading you. Sometimes you can't think straight, so it'll come. But again, I want to put out the invitation. What I'm going to do actually right now is I'm going to put the link in the comment here so that and if you want to come on live and talk to Grace, I'm extending that invitation, and maybe that'll facilitate a little bit of a faster reading.
Connect. Yeah.
Um, but anyone, again, if you're interested, the only thing I ask is that if you do click on that link and join into the studio, it won't put you right into the broadcast, but that you close out the broadcast so that we don't hear an echo. So if you do come online, again, that's all I ask, and we'll know pretty quickly. But just click off of the broadcast because you'll be in the backstage, but you'll still be able to watch Grace and myself live, so you won't miss anything. You'll still be here, and that's an invitation. And then again, Anne, if you think of anything that might resonate with you, with what Grace said, just chime in. And I guess, Grace, I don't want to ask for you, but I'm imagining if anyone out there wants to ask a question, just post it in the comment. And I have a feeling that Grace really likes to answer questions.
Yeah, I do. It's my
I think
thing.
I think it tickles a little when she's talking to these folks.
Well, it's, God gives us all gifts. They're all non-refundable, so we have to use them sooner or later, and, this is my
Oh,
non-refundable gift.
I love
So,
that.
I always feel, energized, and it's a gift for me. It's the gift it's always in the giving that we
Right.
receive. So, as I'm giving that connection or the information, I call it the love from above, it reverberates through me, so then,
Mhm,
it lingers with me, and it's like the
mhm.
feel good, dopamine energy,
Oh,
that
yeah,
it gives
yeah.
to my brain.
I
So,
yeah.
I love my job,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
and you
my
know what?
job.
I see that. I know a lot of healers of all different modalities, and it seems like no matter what you're doing, you're getting back when you're giving, you know what I mean? You're healing yourself, you're also healing. Uh, Anne is saying, she's been trying to connect with her sister or brother, who both passed
Okay, your
over. Sorry.
sister. Let's go with your sister because this female energy is still with me. The woman that I, for some reason, wanted to call Deb or Debbie. Please give me your sister's first name, honey. And when did your sister pass? Did she pass within the last 5 years, as I said before? Joni. Oh, I love
Joni.
that name.
Not
Joni and Chachi.
not Joni.
Joni.
And the quiet healer is saying the giving is awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely feels good. Whoop, didn't mean
Up.
to. And
Okay.
2002.
2002. Why does she keep talking about 5 years to me? So, I don't know, was she ill for 5 years, or is there a 5-year connection? Think on that, and there's always a reason they give me the information. Sometimes it takes a little pondering to put the pieces together.
Mhm.
But I feel, now was she in her 30s when she died, honey?
I love the specific questions. I love that. I enjoy watching psychic mediums work because I feel it.
Yeah.
The
Well,
I
because 'cause you're a
feel
Scorpio and you're just on the frequency, honey, and that's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
so brilliant about you.
yeah.
She's
62.
62. Wow. I feel her energy as young, like in her
Mm,
30s. So, I know that, they make the joke, a lot of us who are mediums and psychics, will say, well, when they present themselves to us, they show us when they were at their best or their prime. It's like, see, wasn't I hot when I was like that age or whatever? But she's a beautiful woman. And she looks like she's in her 30s to me. And there's something to do with two children. So I don't know if she had two children or these are grandchildren, but I see a boy and a girl. And have you been taking care of or watching over children connected to her?
mm,
Because I get this feeling of love and thank you. And it's like she's giving you flowers.
mhm,
And in specific, um, I keep seeing tulips,
hmm,
different colored tulips, almost like rainbows, colors of tulips, like from Holland or something. I know that sounds weird, but I keep seeing the Dutch windmill and just the fields of tulips in all different colors. And I guess that's her way of just saying somewhere over the rainbow, she's there giving you love and thanking you for all that you do for her. Still, she says to you.
mm, mm,
Um, so know that and she also sends you, the cardinal. So if you see cardinals flying around where you live or, you could be out driving and all of a sudden they dive bomb you or, zip past you, she sends you cardinals as well to
mm,
let you know that she's around. Um, Now also there's something to do with music, and to me, I love music because there's always a message in the music because it's
mm,
a healing frequency.
mhm,
And, I keep hearing the Doobie Brothers for your sister.
mm,
So I don't know if she loved Michael McDonald or if she enjoyed their music, but I keep hearing the Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald.
Mhm.
And the song Minute by Minute, I'll Keep Holding On, the lyric, and I just got chills. So it's
Mhm.
she wants you to realize that she is with you. She loves you. She's grateful. She's sending you these signs. And also something to do with Florida. Do you have any plans to go to Florida? She says she'll be with you when you go to Florida.
Ooh, I love that.
Nope, she's still in heaven, Ann. She didn't reincarnate yet.
I
Oh,
live.
you live in Florida.
Mm,
Oh, maybe I'm
mm.
psychic. Okay. So, she's saying, I'm with you in Florida. She just said that to me to say to you. And now you're telling me that you live in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's your sister showing off a little bit here, saying that, she most definitely knows where you are, and she's with you.
Yeah.
Um, there's also something to do with I keep hearing the name Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
Mm.
That show on TV. Um, so I don't know if she just wants me to say the name Ray or if it has something to do with that show in specific. I don't know.
Right.
But maybe you're going to be like, channel surfing and boom, it pops up on your TV screen and there's that show's on a rerun,
Another sign. Yeah, like
you
another
know?
sign, like, hey, I'm here. Yeah.
And then the episode or there's something that's said that when you tune into it triggers a memory
Ooh,
for you of her. It's just going to be very poignant.
I love that. We have a sister, Marie, and the mother is Marie.
Oh, there you go. I'll never stop saying Marie, Marie. Okay. So it's about you already know you're an Aquarian, you're always on the frequency. You don't tell too many people because you don't want people thinking you're cray cray. Look, I get that, I understand, but
The mother on Raymond. The mother
oh, the
on
mother on
Raymond
the
is
Raymond is
Marie.
Marie. Oh, okay. See,
She
you're
was
already putting the pieces
making
together.
the connection. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I love Aquarians. They're like light years ahead of the rest of us. Okay, so all right, Ann, so you're getting it, babe. And it's
She knows how it works.
yeah, absolutely. So it's all good. Your sister's all good. She's with you down in Florida. She's and also something about huh.
Yes, all the
There's
people.
something
All the
about the
people think
holiday
she's
weekend
great.
coming up. Um uh are you supposed to go away for the weekend? For the holiday weekend? She's going with you. She says she's going to be with you for the holiday weekend. All right. Well, I don't think you're cray cray, honey. I think
Yeah,
you're brilliant. All
there's
right.
there's no such thing as cray cray here.
That's right. It's
So while we're waiting for her to respond, and I'm gonna try to let you be you and do your readings because I had a feeling you were gonna take over. Not
oh,
any.
I'm sorry, Mike.
No, no, it's all good. I was actually gonna say I'm actually trying to manifest you taking over, a little bit, but I also want to talk about your journey because I'm curious. I mean, you did that show on public access TV, right? Was it on public access TV?
For 29 years. Yeah.
29 years
Yeah.
on public access TV.
Yeah.
So what? How
And
did that
before
start?
that, I was on MTV. I was
On
on
MTV.
NBC. I mean, I've done
Wow.
national and international shows as well. But for 29 years, I was on the local PATV, and then they switched the call letters to NSTV.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, you know, but that's local community television,
mhm, mhm.
and I paid my dues. I did it for 29 years, and it's time for me to move on from that,
Mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
I'm moving on up to the east side to that deluxe
Yeah,
apartment in
yeah.
the
But
sky.
they
Yeah.
still wanna connect with people, so Anne is saying, "My name Anne means grace," which is
See?
making her connection with you right there, which is awesome.
Loving it,
Yeah,
loving it.
I love
See
that.
what you're doing here, Mr.
I
Zen?
love it. I love it. It's great. It's great. And, she's a New York Italian. What do you know?
Ah, oofa, and the fa is silent. Okay, all right.
I'm
Okay, so I'm already loving you, Ann.
making all
Okay.
sorts of love connections here. So, okay, so So you went from MTV and those gigs first to your own show. So you were like you had segments on shows, or
Yeah, I was
gotcha.
on, for MTV, I was on Downtown Julie Brown,
Okay,
um,
I remember Downtown Julie Brown.
right, I was,
I might be
reading
dating myself, but
there we go. I read for Downtown Julie Brown on MTV, and then, I was
Ah,
on The Rolanda Show, which is on NBC.
I remember that one too.
Uh-huh, and, she was a sweetheart, and then, Channel 12, and then I, did radio shows, and, this a really funny story about the radio show with I read for, on the radio show for Regis Philbin, God rest his soul.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, and everything I said to him happened and manifested within a 3-month time frame from when
Wow.
I said it on the broadcast. At the time, we're going way back, in time,
Yeah,
but,
tell us the story.
yeah, we're going way back in time. I was married at the time. My husband's, grandchildren were running around creating a lot of noise as children will do and distraction, and, I couldn't hear who was on the phone, and I kept saying, "Hello, I can't hear you. Hello, I have children running around here." And I all I kept hearing was a very faint, "Guess who this is? Guess who this is?" And I'm an Aries. I had no patience for this because I'm trying to watch the little ones. So I said, "Look, I have children here. I can't play games with you. Who are you?" And then click, he hung up on me. And as soon as he hung up on me, I knew who it was. And I laughed. I said, "The man has no patience." And I laughed. I said, "And neither do I," as an Aries, right? And but it was just so poignant for me because he had called to give me my props about
Right,
my predictions being accurate and on point and yada
right,
yada.
right, right, right.
Yeah, but his ego got in the way because was distracted and couldn't tell him who he was. It's like, "Reach, come on,
Yeah.
snap out of it. You know who you are."
Wow.
But, so that was kind of funny. And then the reason I got, the TV show was, I was doing a gig for the Plandom Women's Club back in the
Mhm,
day,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
and one of the, Shirley Bruno was the executive director for the public access, station. She sent one of
Okay.
her board members, Betty Craco, to check me out. She went, she heard me, saw my presentation, said, "Oh, she's fabulous. She'd be great on camera, blah, blah, yada, yada."
Mhm, mhm.
And that's how it started.
Cool.
So Shirley Bruno was the one who got me into the local TV scene for 29 years.
Mhm,
Thank you very much. So, but now, I was so excited about the, different platforms and being able to reach more people
mhm, mhm.
and, maybe even being able to, this profit could make a profit. Wow, what a concept, with advertising or this or that.
Right,
But when you're involved with a not-for-profit organization, you're not allowed to do that.
right, right, right,
So, so it's time, cha-ching, it's time for cha-ching,
right,
for
right.
me.
Sure.
So, and it was prohibitive for me to do that if I was doing my show out of their nonprofit studio.
Right.
So that was the
Yeah.
reason why I left, everybody, just so you know, because
Gotcha.
people are saying to me, 29 years and you just left? And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
"Yeah,"
Mm.
because
Well,
when spirit moves you, you gotta move.
yeah, I think for a lot of people with really good hearts, it's not the they're I personally struggle with my belief systems about money, you know what I mean? And these sayings that you hear growing up, words are very powerful. Money is the root of all evil. Ooh, right? Like
Yeah,
that's powerful words to hear, and it's a powerful belief system to have. And so that's something I've been fighting with, for a long time because of course you need money, and I've always been able to survive, but with those thoughts, you put yourself in a certain place, and I think it's because I have a good heart, and that's just not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is connecting with
that's
people,
right.
right? And
Because you are a good soul.
right,
So for you, it's about, but remember also, love, that, they pass around the collection plate in
right,
churches,
right,
okay?
right, absolutely.
Joel Osteen certainly makes a lot of money, honey,
Well, you know what I was going
okay?
to say is there's certainly a value in
It's
knowing your
also a
self-worth,
business.
knowing your self-worth, right? Knowing what you're worth. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? And what that is worth to some people, and of course, people will take it for free, but, people will
Mhm.
also people are willing to exchange energy with you, and that energy is just money, you know what I mean? It's just a
Right,
different
exactly.
form of energy, and that's what I've been learning, and what I talk about here about energy is everything, right? Source is a form of energy, or source is
The ultimate
the
energy.
ultimate energy, right? Exactly what I was going to say. And then it takes all different forms that we can kind of use as currency, right? Currency.
Absolutely.
Wow. And that's I just made that connection. That word currency and frequency, they all work together, right?
They sure
And
do. Are you
Janice
putting
Joplin.
those puzzle pieces together
I'm
over
putting
there?
them up. I'm with you. I'm with you, Grace. I'm totally with you. And we'll talk later.
Oh,
but but but
absolutely,
but I agree.
absolutely.
This platform has been really eye opening for me. I never ever, and I say this all the time on the show, I didn't expect to be on this side of the camera. I usually am taking pictures and filming other people, but my great friend Jesse Blaze, who was the co-host of the live stream when it started, just made me see myself in a different light, and have the courage to be like this energy and this power to connect people and talk to people and make people feel good just by the way you talk to them. It's such a powerful energy. It's so much better than the other alternative, right? Talking to people and making them feel bad, or I mean, it's
Oh,
just a
yeah, but you know what's so sad, Mike, is when you say that, it just evokes that, the sadness of hurt people hurting people, you
Mhm,
know?
mhm.
So that's why, you see so many memes all over the place about, kindness, give kindness even to the mean people, they need it the most.
Right.
Because people in pain that are reacting or spewing or whatever, so it's all about the love,
Mm,
and,
mm.
that's what we're here for. I know that's what,
Yep, yep, very true.
you're here for. I know that's
Mm,
what the Quiet Healer is here for.
yeah.
It's, so many gifted, healing people,
Mhm,
and sometimes it's all about, just acknowledging the light in others so that, they feel seen and acknowledged.
mhm,
I have a
mhm,
client who says, "Grace, I love that you are gifted and can talk to my Father in heaven and can
mhm.
tell me what's gonna happen next week on the job," and she says, "But I gotta tell you, you're my life coach."
Right.
And so I left and I says, "Well, whatever label you wanna give it is up to you,
Right.
as long as I'm making a positive imprint and impact and lifting you up,
Totally. Totally.
that's to me, then I've done my job."
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I've had that conversation a few times in the last couple of weeks. So there's that happens to me often. The universe kind of gives me the same message for like a few weeks at a time, right? Like just
A
in
theme, like have a
right,
theme.
right, in situations, in actual conversations, in actual words, in all different forms. But the idea that we're all here to lift each other up, like why would you make any other choice? You know what I mean? Why would you either want to push someone down or put someone down to feel better about yourself? Like why would you?
That
I
comes from
guess.
insecurity, Michael. You don't understand that because you don't have an ounce of that in your being, thanks be to God.
Right.
So it's people who have I don't did you ever see the movie The Color Purple?
I did. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and when, Oprah Winfrey, his character goes to, Whoopi Goldberg's character and says, "Harpo's beating on me," or whatever, and does that, and it was Whoopi Goldberg that told Harpo to beat on her because
Mm.
she was being beat. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right,
it's
right,
like,
right. That
"Well,
goes back
I
to what you were
this is
saying.
what
Her.
I've
Right.
experienced, so I'm gonna project it onto you."
Right.
And that's what I meant when about pain, begets pain, it's
Right.
for every
Right.
action is an equal and opposite reaction. So
Totally.
it's the scientific and, explain it to do, of it, but energy-wise, if you notice that, just, don't try not to interact with it
Right.
and just bless it and walk away
Right.
because they're still in their pain, and,
Right.
they're just gonna keep spewing it, and you don't
You
wanna
said
be in
that.
the way of that,
Right. No,
right?
you said exactly what I was thinking. It's there's being who I am, I have compassion, right? And I'm just like, okay, I understand you're miserable, but that's the best you can do. And I give you kudos for being miserable, as for being so miserable, because that's what you're good at. You know what
Les
I mean?
Mis. They named a Broadway play after you. Les Mis. Yeah. Wow. Okay. But it's all right. How can you shift your perspective
Right.
instead of being the well, negative people is that's another meme for stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. You know.
That's funny,
Yeah.
and it's true.
Yeah, bada
And
boom. So it's direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Listen to Mike Zen. He knows what he's zinning about. Okay. And I love it. And I'm so pleased. What a blessing that you and Janice were my last, your energy imprint vibrations
Ah,
took my final show.
that's so sweet. Oh my God, I got
But it's
chills.
so true, I
Woo!
just got
Thank
chills.
you.
But see how I was blessed by the universe by you too, because
Yeah.
that's what I wanted, that's what I was trying to, accomplish,
Right.
and so to go out with the big bang, bada boom, bada
I
bang,
can imagine what a hard decision it was probably for you to do. And you know what? Here's something else. Another conversation that's totally relevant that the universe has been whispering in my ear is about comfort zones. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, we try so hard to create these comfort zones, right? Because we want to be comfortable, but then once we're in that comfort zone, we're not growing anymore. You know,
yeah,
we're just we're kind of stagnant. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I've done to myself. Quiet healer, so grateful. Yes, definitely. um so I think that's what you're experiencing, what you just said. You know what I mean? You had this comfort zone 29 years, and you realized that you kind of put a ceiling on your own existence by falling into that comfort zone and being there. And it's even, it's how I've been feeling certainly lately. I mean, I love my job, but I feel like, there's only so much that's going to happen there. You know what I mean? And so, I keep my job because it feeds me, it pays my rent, but I do stuff like this on my own time because it feeds me. You
it
know what
feeds
I
your
mean?
soul,
It feeds
yeah,
my soul. And yeah, exactly. And it shows me who I am. You know what I mean? I
mhm,
think it gives other people the opportunity to see me, and new opportunities arise, right? And new things happen, and I think that's what this is all about. Janice is saying nothing grows in the comfort zone, and it's scary to leave it. Exactly what
mhm.
I'm saying. Totally, totally. So what are your plans? I mean, so no, let's go back. Let's before we talk about the fact that you left. I mean, do you have any over those 29 years, what were the most amazing things for you? Like, what's your most memorable validation as a psychic medium?
Ooh, wow, that's a very, wow, that's a very good question.
Thank you.
There've been a lot of them, a lot of experiences that, um make me aware of why I was given the gift and to use it to help others,
Hmm.
um, through healing a mother's grief after losing her son.
Hmm.
I've told that story before on,
Hmm.
in an interview, and,
What was the validation in that
the
incident?
validation was that, she was grieving. She had son was killed, in an accident,
Hmm.
and he was only 8 years old.
Hmm.
And she was beyond the depths of despair.
Hmm.
Um, and she she had come to me, and her son came through and was thanking her. He kept talking about the Kermit the Frog song. Why are there so many songs about
Okay.
rainbows and what's on the other side?
Hmm.
And, he was thanking her for that song, and she starts crying hysterically, and she said, "Oh my god, Grace, there's no way you would know this." That was his favorite song,
Hmm.
and I had them play it at his funeral.
Mm.
And she was Catholic, and trust me, that's not
Wow.
one of the leader picks on the leaderboard for the
No,
funeral mass.
it's no, I mean, I could
But
see that.
she knew, see, it's so Italian, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So she knew the people at the church, and they played it.
Right.
And, she said, "There's no way you would know that." And so she said, "So now I believe."
Mhm. Mhm.
And I said, "Yeah, because there's no way I could Google that. I'm getting that from Above with Love."
Right, right.
So that was pretty even for me, I was like, little gasp, like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know, this really is real, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think
and
that's why I asked that question because that's again, I know so many people who have so many different modalities, right? And psychic medium being one of them. I know a few different psychic mediums pretty well.
yeah,
And I was saying I love watching them work, and it's those validations that really, for me, are like that's those chill moments, where you're just like, oh,
yeah,
there you go. That's what that all means.
yeah,
And again, sometimes they're so unbelievable, like you would never pick it out. A lot of times, I love this puts a smile on my face. They are related to things like the Muppets and Charlie Brown, and things like
yeah.
that. There's so many stories I know that are just like, whoa, like because
The
there's
innocence of children, that's why.
yeah, yeah,
Animals and
absolutely.
children, unconditional love.
Right, but also I think those are energies that those specific people resonate with.
Yeah,
Some people love Disney, some people love the Muppets, some people
yeah,
love NASCAR. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
whatever it might be, they resonate with that energy, and
mhm,
that energy comes through and it becomes those validations. I love those stories.
yeah,
Those are awesome.
absolute, and as I say to people, it's information that can't be Googled,
Right,
okay, or found out any other way.
right,
And the truth chill, I call it, when you
yeah,
get the goosebumps or you get the little shudder running through you, or it's
right,
that awareness, it's the consciousness, it's the aha, it's your soul letting you know, oh, this is the real deal, this is
yeah,
on point. So,
totally. So
mhm.
tell us some more stories. Have any of those celebrity moments or TV shows were there good validations there? Did things come to fruition from
Oh my
those?
gosh, yeah. Well, let's this is a really fabulous one as well.
Good.
Um, um, Mary, Mary Germain. Now, she came to me for a reading when she was just a volunteer for Make-A-Wish,
Okay.
and she wanted to know what was going to be for like the rest of her life. And I said, I don't see you sticking with the not-for-profit volunteerism here. I think you're going to get into cooking, have your own cooking company or business, and I see you with celebrities and
Something related.
blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Now, P.S. Fast forward, she's like bestest friends with Rachel Ray,
Oh
and
wow.
there was unfortunately she was involved in business with the guy who got in trouble with the Crocs, the orange Crocs,
Oh no.
Mario, a famous chef, Mario something. I can't remember his last name. I blocked it out. Anyway, I know he's a Virgo though, but
Okay.
got into business with him, and
Okay.
she wound up becoming very successful in that. And now she and her husband have a fabulous like getaway place in Woodstock area.
Cool.
And so, P.S. Everything that I told her happened. Okay,
Wow.
and
And Anna's asking if it's Batelli.
Mario Batali, that's it.
There you go.
Thank you, Ann. Yep, that's the one. So, and this is all truth. This is all in fact, on her Facebook uh, page. She had a couple of books, cookbooks come out too, and
Oh wow.
I said, "I told you that," and she said, "Yes, you did."
Wow.
So she at least she acknowledged it on her
Awesome.
Facebook page when I brought it up. But nine
Awesome.
times out of ten, people like us who are gifted, insightful, and we give the information, and then they think we don't know what we're talking about until after it happens, and
Right.
then oh wow, wasn't that something? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
So it's kind of like the curse of Cassandra, in
I don't know what that is. The curse of
uh,
Cassandra.
Greek mythology. She was the oracle who was always correct, but Zeus was mad at her, so he said, "Okay, well, you're going to be on point and always correct, but nobody's ever going to give you credit for it." You know,
Mm,
so it's sometimes it can feel that way when you're really gifted
right.
and you're on the right frequency and you're doing it from the heart and you're doing it to help and uplift,
Mhm.
and people just don't get it. They're not on the frequency. They don't understand until later on, until after the fact when it happens. And then by then, sometimes, I have 5-year stories. I have 10-year stories.
Mhm,
In fact,
mhm,
one of them, I just posted on my Facebook page. Um, I did a reading for this Gabriella Shafley. She's from South America,
mhm,
and she had two beautiful daughters, and I told her one of her daughters was gifted from God with music and a voice.
mhm,
P.S.
mhm.
And at the time, she told me I was nuts
Right,
because her daughter was into sports.
right,
Fast forward, now her daughter's an opera singer.
right. And how many years later was this?
10.
10 years. Wow. Jessica's out there saying hello. What's up, Jessica? Uh, Friend of mine who pops in every once in a while. Uh,
Jessica.
Good to see you. Um, so yeah, 10 years later, they're making validations. That's really funny.
So that's what people have to understand. When you get information, it can be accurate, but you're not
Mhm,
aware of it yet because it's
mhm,
future oriented.
mhm.
So that's why before I preface all my sessions with, all right, take notes or record this, please, so you have something to refer back
Right,
to.
right. Yep.
Because what sounds uh, inconceivable now is going to be amazing when it does happen,
Mhm.
whenever divine timing allows that to be.
Right,
Okay.
right, right,
So and sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 2 months, sometimes it's 2 years or whatever.
right,
But I always tell everybody, look, if the information is coming through for you, it's right, it's perfect. Keep the faith, trust it, and allow it to ease your mind,
right,
and stop worrying about things, you know?
right, 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 right.
And so, but I still believe I clapped for Tinkerbell. I mean, I believe that the universe always puts us in the right place at the right time for all the right reasons.
Right.
And the people that enter our life, it's either for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Mhm, mhm.
So we learn, we grow.
Right. But
Sometimes
the common thread through all three of those is reason. There's a reason. It's either a quick reason, a long season, or a lifetime. And I want
absolutely.
to say hello to Rosemary, who's out there, uh, and Rosemary, uh, who I guess she knows you. I don't know if you know Rosemary, but I've worked with her
She's a
as
very
well.
gifted lady,
Yes,
Rosemary.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Yep. She knows, she gets it, she understands, she hears
Yeah,
the angels.
totally, totally. I was with her when I don't know if she had first started. I think she was doing it for a little while, or her oil with Padre Pio.
Mhm. Yep.
I helped her videotape a couple of her things that she did at hotels, a couple of her events that she held. Um, Janice is saying hello to Rosemary out there. We've got the chatting audience is saying hello to each other. They're all talking
I
together.
love it. See?
So yeah. So yeah, again, if anyone out there wants to, ask Grace a question, there is a little bit of a delay, but I love talking to Grace about where she comes from, and I think we're going to have a conversation after the show about where she's going and what her plans are. But a 30-year career, just about 30 years as a psychic medium, is pretty admirable and very cool. I know, like I said, I had such a blast on your show. We didn't even know it was going to be the last episode. We were surprised when you said that, but that was a blast. I love watching you connect with people and do these readings and the joy that you feel comes through, which is pretty. I think that's your thing as a medium, is the joy. Some people take it a little seriously, and you're always throwing little jokes in there, like ethnic jokes and and whatever you could think of.
Well, because I truly believe it, Michael, when I say laughter and love are the 2 greatest healing energies.
Yeah,
So if you
absolutely.
don't take yourself so seriously all the time,
Right.
and you can laugh at yourself,
Yeah.
that's why I'm always making jokes and laughing at myself. It's like,
Right.
don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small
That's
stuff.
right. That's right.
You know,
And if it happens, there's a reason it happened, and you just got to go with it.
just keep on keeping on, people.
Yeah.
And there's the best is yet to come. And if we can, that's why I tell people, look, you really don't want to give up right now because 3 months from now you're going to be hitting lotto, or
Mhm,
your dreams are going to be coming true.
mhm,
Hang in there.
mhm, mhm,
It's all about inspiration. It's all about giving hope.
Mhm.
It's all
Mhm.
about, the best is yet to come,
Right.
and that is just so true. It's just so
Right.
true for those who are willing to open up and believe in that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think you know what? We got about 10 minutes left, so I forgot. I just
Okay.
realized I haven't put up your website. If anybody is interested in and resonating with Grace's wonderful vibe, you can see more about Grace and what she does and appearances. Do you do appearances? Do you do live readings?
Yes, I do. As a
Let's
matter of
talk
fact,
about that.
my next appearance, air quotes, my next appearance is gonna be, Sunday, June 11th at, the Holiday Inn in Holtsville.
Cool.
Um, Diane Hutnick puts together these events. She's got a name for it, and she's gonna shoot me because I can't remember the name.
It's like a convention, like a fair,
Um,
or what kind of an event?
Empowered something or other,
Oh,
Empowered.
oh, 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 I think I know who you're talking about. I think I just missed an event recently. I was supposed to do some video, but it was on a Thursday night when I had a show, and I couldn't do it.
Oh,
Empowered.
Empowered, uh, Path Expos.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Oh
Empowered
my
Path
God, that's
Holistic Expos. Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
a reason that's coming up because again, I just recently spoke to her. I introduced myself to her. Somebody recommended that I do some video for her at her event, and she said, "Hey, can you come to this event?" And it was a Thursday night, so I couldn't do it. And somebody else ended up being there and taking pictures, and she's like, "Oh, I hired this other girl." But listen, I know that things happen for a reason, and I know that I will work with her at some point,
Oh,
and
you definitely will. You
yeah, yeah.
definitely will.
And the Healing Expo. Janice is saying the Healing Expo.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks, Janice.
yes, but yeah. So okay, so you're going to be at one of her events, and
Right, and then once a month, my brother, is an acupuncturist, and he has his office
okay,
in Bayshore. So
okay,
once a month, I call them gatherings, and
okay,
I have a limited like, only 10 people, um, can attend at a time,
okay,
but everybody gets a reading and healing energy. I'm also a Reiki master healer, so
okay.
it's the trifecta, psychic, medium, healer.
Yeah,
The trifecta.
yeah,
We all have that. We all
yeah,
have that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If people want to email me, gracegrella@gmail.com. And the next one is this coming Sunday, but there's always next month.
Right. And
You
that's
get
like a it's
in.
like a group reading, but also just like a gathering. You said like
Yeah, it's a gathering. So
there's
it's like semi-private. There's only 10 people. It's
right,
not like being at the
one on one. It's not one on one.
no, it's not a private, it's not a
Right,
one-on-one, but you can have that if you want that, but you have
mhm,
to schedule that separately,
right,
with me. So I do private one-on-ones in person, also
mhm,
phone, sessions. I have
mhm,
phone clients all over the world, so, it's energy work. I don't have to be with you,
right,
physically, to get the 411, to get the energy, but, some people just feel more comfortable, like, after they, meet me and they go, "Oh, oh, this really is real," you know?
right,
And
right.
then I guess that establishes that trust for
They
them.
want more, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like,
yeah.
"Oh,
They're
now
like,
I
"Wait a
get it."
second."
Yeah, okay. So, whatever it is to make you happy,
Right,
that's my motto. If
right,
if you're happy, if you're comfortable, then you're gonna relax, and you're gonna get so much more out of your session, your
right,
reading,
right,
um and it usually winds up being both. It usually winds up being, your relatives who have passed over wanna get their 2 cents in, as
right,
well as what's coming up for you, in your life, and they want you to be aware of it.
right,
So it's usually a brilliant, you always get what you need,
right.
you know?
Right. And that's what I was kind of saying when I was promoting the show. I'm like, hey, if you think you're expecting a message, just come hang out because you never know, the message might come. Also something that's really interesting about what you're saying that I like is and we talked about this earlier. I was like, oh, I don't have a call in so that you could actually hear the person's voice. And you said, well, it's really just almost like once they initiate asking you a question, you're exchanging energy. And in my belief system, the way I rationalize, I don't want to say rationalize that, but the way I define that is is thought, right? So thought
Mhm.
is energy, right? So if that person is having a thought and it's directed towards you because they want to ask you the question, then there's still this energetic exchange, even if it's just happening in text. Um,
Absolutely.
and I have a story. I had I don't know if you know Lynn Laborde Eastman from Soma.
Yes.
So I had Lynn on the show, and I have a great story with Lynn. Is that it was another person you might know, Terry Leone, uh,
Yes.
was telling me, you have to meet Lynn Laborde, you have to meet her, and she gave me her name, and on Facebook I texted Lynn, and we started chatting, and through chat, like, just it was partially our conversation, the things that were being said, but I totally got chills like so quickly within a few sentences of just talking to her. I
Yeah.
said to her, I said, I'm not a light worker per se, because I know I'm a light worker, right? Of my own
Yes,
making.
you are. Yes, you are.
Right, but I said, "I'm not a light worker," and she said, "I don't believe that," and right away I was like, "Ooh, whoa," and then I told her, I was a photographer, and she said, "Photographers work with light," and I was just like, I had my skin was
So she
crawling.
reframed it. Kudos to her because she
Yeah.
reframed it so you could accept it and embrace it.
It was so beautiful. It was just such a perfect moment. It's ingrained in my head forever, that moment and
I
that
love that.
that
I love
connection.
that.
Yeah, it was really, really
You are the
awesome.
light. Oh, and FYI, you are the light, Michael.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
McFly, are you in here? Okay. So, yeah. And
Yeah.
even though I love that you're modest about it. I love that you're so you have this innocence energy, where um, and God bless the meek, they're gonna inherit the world,
Right.
so
Right.
get ready for your inheritance, honey, because
Oh,
it's
I'm
coming down
I'm
the pike.
I'm freaking ready, believe me. I am
As
totally
you
ready.
should be, as you should be.
Oh, yeah.
And I checked out your photography work. Brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Wow. Ooh, I'm gonna turn red.
yeah.
Um, Thank you. I appreciate that. I realize it's tough for me because um some people really resonate with it, and what sometimes, and even myself, sometimes when I look at it, some of my work is on the sexier side. So
Well, you're Scorpio, you can't help yourself.
yeah,
You were born that way. Baby, you were born that way,
but that
sexy.
that sometimes I'm a little
Oh,
shy
oh,
and
oh, did you
hesitant
ever think
to.
about Carillion photography?
What is that?
Carillion photography, taking, the aura, the photo of
Yes,
somebody and
yes,
expose their aura?
yes, I have thought about that. I'm not really too familiar with like specialized equipment to do that, but I had thought about somehow creating that with light painting or doing my own version of it.
Yeah, 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 somehow you're gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah.
You heard it here, sports fans, cut to the
Awesome.
videotape.
I love it. I love it.
Michael Zinn is going to do his own, variation on this, and it's gonna be brilliant, and it's gonna be another one of your claim to fame.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Something else you're gonna be, brilliantly gifted
That
at.
feels so good. Thank you, Ninja Kitty. I really appreciate anytime anybody resonates with anything that I've actually created. It's just so warming in my heart. So thank you so much for saying that.
And thank you for
Um
having me on your show tonight. I am so blessed. I'm so blessed, and it
y-
went by so fast.
yeah, doesn't it go by fast? It's
Yikes.
amazing. You're so great to talk to. And Anne is popping in here last minute. She's trying to get her last questions in here. Will there ever be restoration with my two grown estranged sons? So we
Yes,
know.
in the
Uh,
fall.
yes, in the fall.
Yeah,
Awesome.
the end of November of, this year, 2023.
There you go. And like you just said, you heard it here first.
You heard it here, sports fans.
I love that so much. You are such a pleasure to talk to. I can't wait to talk some more with you. We'll definitely have to have you back here on the live stream and whatever else may happen after this. Um,
I look
Jen,
forward to it.
love you, Grace. Always good to see you. And I'm going to say goodbye to you for now. I'm going to sign off my show and I will talk to you in just a little bit. And Anne is very excited. She says, wow, thank you. I love you two guys. And if you're watching on, where are you? You are on Facebook. I was gonna say, if you go over to YouTube and you subscribe, I have this bell that I ring when people subscribe, and they tell me. So you have about 45 seconds to do that as I sign off. And but thank you for being here. Even if you don't subscribe, I appreciate every one of you guys being here, especially you, Grace. I'm gonna put you backstage for a minute. I'm just gonna
Okay.
give my
Thank
love
you.
to my audience, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for
Okay.
being here. Wow, that was awesome. I was so looking forward to that, and it went too fast. I can't believe it's over. Another amazing show. Thank you. And Anne says we are friends on Facebook. That's right, Anne. I know. I know. I forget offhand, but I know where we were friends from. We were friends from another person that's into the whole psychic metaphysical stuff, and you came by here. But I always appreciate everyone being here. That's what makes it such a happy place. I feel like even if you're watching the replay, it's probably a little bit of a happy place. So thank you so much for being here. I don't, again, I've done this, I've been doing this every week. I don't have my calendar in front of me so I can tell you who I have next week, but from being here, if you've been here before, if you were just here now, how awesome it is. It's always so much fun. So join me next week here on the live stream of consciousness. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thanks to Grace Grella, and I'll see you next week.